Back here on First Things First, and we are going viral. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid found themselves as opponents in the All-Star game, but that didn't stop them from sharing this fun moment on Sunday, which the Sixers tweeted out yesterday afternoon.
It was funny. A little butt slap.
There you go.
Oh,
Doug, are you convinced Embiid thought
like,
this
what?
was funny? What? You thought it was funny. Do you think he did?
Yeah. I mean, look at him, because he didn't see him coming from behind and he's on a different team. I think so.
I really hope so.
That look didn't seem to
You know what? If they turn it around in the second half of the season, this will be the moment people will point to. See, this is when it turned around.
Got a little butt slap.
I hope he liked it.
They can be friendly. They can have fun.
I think he did.
That's assault, brother.
I really think he was cool with it.
Moving on to the reigning MVP, Giannis. The Greek freak has his eyes set on winning a title with the Bucks this season. But with the 25-year-old phenom set to become a free agent in 2021, Giannis set up some interesting scenarios when asked about playing with his brothers, saying, quote, "If we could team up on a team, Milwaukee, LA, or whatever, that would be awesome." Chris, what does the future hold for Giannis?
Wow. Well, I know the Lakers are scrambling like, oh, we got a shot?
Salivating.
And the Bucks are
going.
scrambling too.
Right?
Look, I think Giannis was just being honest. And, you know, I think he just, maybe, we talked about it earlier, language barrier. I don't know. I don't think he's thinking I may go to the Lakers. But I would love to see, just for the business model of the NBA, him stay in Milwaukee long term. You know, we've seen Anthony Davis leaves New Orleans. LeBron obviously left Cleveland. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, San Antonio's not technically a small market, but, you know, it's a smaller
market
type city. Yeah, so he leaves there. And the players, I'm all for player empowerment. If he really just desires to go to some bigger market, then so be it. He should be able to do what he wants. But I would love it if he stayed. Now, ironically, with Milwaukee, LA, remember who left there famously in the 70s? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar forced his way out. The key for the Bucks is they got 2 years. You got this year, and then you got next year with him. What they need to show is progress. Like, if they need, I think they need to make the finals this year. Even if they lose, they need to make it. And then next year, if they don't win it next year, or if they don't get to the finals next year, that's when I think they could be in danger, serious danger of losing him, because I dealt with LeBron a lot early in his career. And I don't believe he was ever thinking he would need to leave Cleveland to win a title. He really believed in those teams. We talked about the comparisons to the early Cavs with LeBron and this Milwaukee Bucks team with Giannis, all built around this one player. LeBron believed wholeheartedly in those Cleveland teams with 61 wins and 66 wins. And he kept running into more talented teams in the playoffs and just feeling like, if I'm going to win, I need that other guy. And Giannis could get to that point within the next 2 years if they don't win it. If they do win it, then maybe they can keep him for at least another contract.
All right, let's start with the statement. It's a mistake to say L.A., but I also think that's
his mom would love it.
That's also part of what makes him so endearing, is that he doesn't carry the baggage of all the BS that everybody else in America does, right? He's not thinking, like he even said, when they drafted James Harden, you know, he had a comment on All-Star Draft Day, and then after the All-Star game, he said we were all just trying to attack whoever James Harden is guarding. And he's not wrong.
He didn't know about the
he just doesn't he didn't grow up in a world where you have to be politically correct. You just kind of say what you think, and it's really endearing. And so he's like, yeah, LA, it doesn't matter. I'd love to play with my brothers, which is an honest statement, but of course it allows, you know, it's like throwing a ham bone in there for me and Chris to salivate over like dogs. We're like, man, come to L.A. I agree with you wholeheartedly on the NBA. This is big for the league. Because imagine if you own one of these smaller market teams. Or even, and look, there's a bunch of New York City guys, the MSG guys, own the Bucks, right? It's not like it's not a mom and pop shop in Milwaukee. But they've done everything in their power to make that thing work. They got an unbelievable practice facility, maybe the nicest arena in the league, and they sell it out every night, and they're building an entire team around him only to make him look better.
Yep.
They got a good coach who's new wave, analytics, Spurs background, et cetera, et cetera. So they've done everything in their power. But imagine if you own a franchise in which most of these things lose money year to year. Okay, they may make some money now, and the only way to truly make money is to sell a franchise, which you don't want to do, right? And the second you get a great player, you either win a championship or the guy leaves you for a bigger market. That's not a great business model for Adam Silver, right? You got Utah and Oklahoma City and Minnesota. They're all going to end up getting ticked off at these major markets. That said, the idea of him in New York, I actually think, would be a better play than L.A., right? Consider out what an international city is, or in L.A., makes everybody perk up their ears. Oh, just get his brothers. Ironically, one of his brothers is in the Bucks organization, another one's in the Lakers organization, and I don't think it tells us all that much other than he's still a very honest guy, whether it's language barrier or not caring about being politically correct. But it does make us wonder, how much do they have to do in order, maybe not to keep him happy, but everybody else around him? Because a lot of these guys, they're really happy and content, but everybody around is like, hey, man, you got to go win championships.
Right.
Legacy. Like, I'm fine where I am.
You bring up an interesting point of him not really being, into the social media or just the political correctness that so many of the American athletes grow up into.
Yes.
And will he be able to remain immune to the championship talk? Like, obviously, within his own self, he wants to win championships because he's a competitor. But there's also the added pressure from the outside world. Like LeBron James, it was like everybody's comparing this guy to Michael Jordan. He's got to win championships, and LeBron hears that. What player wouldn't hear that? And then you begin, in addition to your own desire to win, it's like you can't do it on your own timetable, though. It's like you can't just continue to build toward it and get it when you get it. The media, we put the pressure on you. You got to start winning multiple rings, and there's a ring count, and so on and so forth. Can Giannis remain immune to that?
I don't know. Even Jordan had it too. Remember his first 7 years?
Yes.
And of course, they got rid of Doug Collins and Phil Jackson came in and they won. There's the same questions about him. They were about LeBron. I do think that this is potentially the best opportunity for him, right? Because the talent is still in the West, because Durant is not playing, Kyrie, I think that Brooklyn team's a legit challenger.
Oh, you mean this year?
Yeah, this year. I think the Celtics, Jason Tatum's only going to get better. I mean, he's only 21 years old. He's not going to get worse. He's not going to leave Boston. They're going to keep getting better. I think they're a legit challenger. I still think Philadelphia is probably a year away from figuring it out. I do think they're going to keep those two together. This is a great opportunity because they had usually you have to feel the pain before you taste the champagne, right? And last year they felt a lot of pain. And Toronto is not what they used to be without Kawhi. Boston's not there yet. Philadelphia's got kind of a volatile mix there. It's a great year for them to come out of the East, and the West is going to beat up on each other. They just are. And the Lakers are not.
Both of those teams,
they're not perfect.
Clippers, and the health, that's a big question.
Health is a big issue. Do I think he has to win a title to stay in Milwaukee? No. I think that's dumb that we've somehow, as the media, you either win or you're not successful. I don't think that's fair. But I do think at some point, all the people around him will be like, yo, dude, Milwaukee, and we're not winning titles. What are we doing here?
It eventually gets to you.
Yeah.
Feel the pain before you taste the champagne?
Yes.
I like that. We're going to switch.
That's right. Trademark Doug Gottlieb Productions.
I was saying, did you make that up?
Trademark. Patent pending.
That was good.
We're going to take a quick break and then switch gears. Coming up, which quarterback would you rather have next season, Brady or Breeze? That is next up in the All-Star game on Sunday. But if the King wants to chase down the Greek Freak for his 5th regular season MVP, he's got some work to do. Giannis is currently the heavy favorite to repeat as MVP. Doug, I'm going to start with you. Should LeBron win the award over Giannis this season?
Yes, I think LeBron has been more valuable. And it's really important, like if Nick was sitting here, he'd throw stat, PPP, PR, all kinds of different things. You look at him and his age. I don't care about any of that. His stats are good. Free throw shooting could be better. I think that's a huge issue for them in the fourth quarter as they get ready for the playoffs. But the Lakers have done a 180 compared to where they were heading into the offseason last year. And when LeBron lands in L.A. and people are questioning how much he's invested in being great at basketball still, and he goes through a first year where he gets hurt, kind of checks out in the team, and I believe he deserved the blame for for their dramatic fall last year. They're a 4 seed. They'd beaten the Warriors when he got hurt on Christmas Day, and they were never the same. If you're the best player, if you're the leader, and the team collapses, that's on you. But the
injury was a big part of it, too.
It was, but it was also the rumors about the trade.
When he got back.
And then when he came back, it wasn't like they were losing the best teams in the league. They lost to Memphis. They lost to Phoenix. They lost to Dallas. They lost to teams that were tanking. Right. It's embarrassing.
I think Atlanta.
So, yeah, so that falls on his shoulder. But the same, you get the respect when you win. And he has not only embraced Anthony Davis, but pumped Anthony Davis up to where he's playing at an all-time level in terms of confidence. You know, he's, I think, made Alex Caruso into this kind of mythical figure for the Lakers because he